Right, we are live. Hey, Rams House, guess what?
What's up?
For like 6 weeks in a row, I have been in a different hotel room every First Down Rams episode.
Uh-huh.
This is the final week. I will be
Let's go.
home next week, and I can't wait. How's it going, man? You ready for First Down Rams?
I was ready, but now after hearing that news, I'm even more hyped up for you. We should really celebrate this. We don't have to do any more hotel reviews during
Yeah.
First Down Rams. Yeah, I'm excited though. How are you doing?
Yeah. I'm doing good. It's a nice hotel. I have the lights off in the back right now, so it's kind of dark. But
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're going to talk about briefly about Rams Seahawks aftermath. We're going to talk about the sad news today about Lake Higbee and Havenstein, going to IR, and then we'll preview the Rams versus Bucks, and of course we'll get into over Rams action and what's more likely, but it's just the Rams. So I want to start off the show, of course, by saying, if you're watching with us live or on the replay, thank you so much for tuning on into First Down Rams. Myself, Peo Time, and Rams House. We love doing this every Wednesday. We're just talking about the Rams. It's probably the greatest Rams Wednesday live show ever today.
Honestly,
I think so.
Yeah, from the very first episode, even back to when it didn't have a name. I mean, it's been top tier. I love doing this with you.
Likewise. And speaking of love doing this with cool people, let's welcome. We got Daniel here. We got that number.
long number.
Yep. And and it looks like he's a fan of McLennan getting the start there.
Yeah.
ATAK Beat says great last vid. Dude, your Bucks Rams preview. I was listening to it on my car ride today. You did a great job on that video.
Thank you.
Thanks for putting that in.
Yeah, I always appreciate people tuning in and watching.
Yeah. Dean is here. Blue Lock is here. Asteroid Boss. Hello. Silly Fun Guy in the house.
What a name.
ESG is here. Appreciate it. Salted Fishing Touchdown Rams. Let's go. So many cool people in the chat. Thanks for tuning on in with us as we talk about everything Rams. So before we get into our main topics, let's just start off briefly with saying, how are you? It's been a couple days. It feels like that Seahawks game was like a week ago, but it really has only been like 3 days. Mm-hmm. What were your thoughts when the Rams pulled out the win against the Seahawks and, seeing the aftermath? I know a lot of people like to watch, Seahawks content creators and how they feel about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I'm just happy that the Rams got out with a win. This is one of those big games we talked about. It could be an NFC Championship kind of preview game.
Yeah.
Both these teams are likely going to be the ones fighting for the top spot in the division. So I don't care what kind of win you get the win. It counts the same.
Yep.
And you got to beat the Seahawks. And the Rams were able to do that. Obviously, if you're nitpicking, you would want the offense for the Rams to do better. But also, I look at that Seahawks defense, and I was expecting a true challenge. Yep. My score prediction going into that game was 21-20, and we got 21-19.
That was close.
So it went about as I expected.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got out of there with a win, because when was the last time we saw Jason Myers, the kicker for the Seahawks, miss a field goal? When he went out there, even though it was 61 yards, I was like, I just have a feeling this is going to go in. So when it was wide off to the side and didn't make it, I was so relieved.
Yeah. No, I think it comes back to the perfect punt, which again I will freak out about for the rest of my life of where were you when you saw the perfect punt from Ethan Evans? And to do that punt in that moment, it changed the whole game, right? It changed the whole game for so many reasons. One of my favorite things is we joked last week about the amount of people that previewed the Rams Seahawks game, and they were like, man, this is like a playoff game. It feels like a playoff game. Yeah, this kind of feels like a playoff game. Like that was the narrative going into it. And then the Rams win, the game's over, and I see all these people being like, yeah, tough loss by the Seahawks, but they still have a chance of the division and stuff like that. And I'm like, Okay, so it clearly wasn't a playoff
Yeah.
game. Like,
I guess it's not what you hyped it up to be.
yeah, it's just it was a big regular season game, but let's not make it bigger than it had to be. But yeah, no, I've really enjoyed seeing the aftermath. I see salted fishing. I do the exact same thing. My favorite activity is to watch Seahawks fans just complain and be butthurt about the game.
There's something gratifying about it. I don't know why.
Yeah, hey, and like I know when the Rams lose, I have the team that beat them. They always watch my aftermath. Like it's part of the thing.
Yeah.
And
that is always crazy.
We got a $2 super chat here from ATA Beats. Thank you so much.
That's cool. So generous of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did the comments say? I just want to make sure.
Oh, the Rams look solid, and the Seahawks did too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I think Rams looked really solid. Their defense looked really good. If the Rams defense didn't show up the way they did, I don't know if the Rams win that game. And the crazy thing is they still almost lost the game, even getting 4 interceptions. So thank goodness their defense stepped up. And everybody we heard coming into the week, like everybody was saying Sam Darnold was going to see ghosts again. The Rams have his number, that kind of thing. I wasn't expecting the Rams to have this kind of performance again. I just wasn't, especially like given the fact of the situation he's in. But the Rams defense stepped up, they delivered, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, and like absolutely full credit to the defense, and 4 picks against anybody, like that's an accomplishment. But I also do want to give credit to Chris Shula as the defensive coordinator and Sean McVay, as head coach. I do think that in previous years, when we've seen a game like this where the other team hogs the ball, right? Like the Seahawks put a lot of long drives together that ended in either a field goal or a interception. Mm-hmm. But in a previous incarnation of the Rams, this is the type of game we see the Rams lose, right? Yes. Where like the other team hogs the ball, the Rams don't take advantage of short fields, things like that. But this year, the Rams aren't settling for field goals. We're seeing like being aggressive off turnovers helped win this game for the Rams, and I love seeing that from them. And it was cool to see the Rams win in a different kind of manner than they have been winning this year. Just noting that like this team can win a variety of different ways, and I fully expect when the Rams and Seahawks play later this year, it's going to be a very different game. I'm like, we're not going to see like just a repeat of this game, right?
Yeah, I don't think you'll see as much sloppiness as you did, but I feel like these two teams know each other so well, and both defenses are so good in their own rights, to where in Seattle I expect another defensive game.
Yeah,
but like, do I expect another 4 turnovers to happen? Like, probably not. But I think it's going to be fun because I don't really expect a blowout. Like, these two teams, in my opinion, are so good, and they really are going to challenge each other. So I'm excited for that one already up in Lumen Field in Seattle on primetime. Like that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Love this comment here by Asteroid Boston. By the way, the Rams are undefeated against the Seahawks when Stafford starts. And I've heard Seahawks fans actually recognize this.
Yeah.
Of like, they hate Stafford. Right?
Yeah. I mean, if I had to play against him twice a year, I probably would too, with how good he is. And he didn't have his best game against the Seahawks this last week. Like, we saw some of those missed throws and certain things where it looked like he wasn't quite sure what he was seeing, like on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. But he did enough to win the game, and he wasn't giving us reasons to lose. Like, he wasn't turning the football over. And if you turn the football over in games like this, that's really going to hurt you. So excited to see what ends up happening as the year goes on, because I think this is, I mean, we'll see him again, but this is going to be the best defense I think that we play for the rest of the year for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And even like, I actually think because of the way Seattle defended the pass and Stafford this game, it actually helped Kyren in the run game a lot this game, right?
Yeah.
He had a good game. And when McVay talks about complementary football, I don't think it just goes between offense and defense. I think it's also, when the run game is going, that helps
Yeah.
the pass game, and when the pass game is a threat, that can help the run game. And I loved hearing Devontae Adams on the Fitz and Wit podcast. Did you hear that one?
I haven't gotten. I'm so excited to hear that though. I haven't
Yeah,
gotten a chance yet. No.
I had like a 3 hour drive today, and I had it on. And it was so cool. I won't spoil the whole thing. I'll just share this. He talks about like having an unselfish offense, and like if Stafford sees something that the defense is giving him, like how the offense is designed to take advantage of that. And yeah, like it's cool to have a team like that.
It's so cool. And it's really cool to see Devontae Adams, like just the way his perspective has changed and shift. Like people talked about how he was a diva in years past and like he wants to be like the alpha guy. But Devontae Adams has talked about so many times with the Rams, like this is the first time in his career that he sees his teammates score touchdowns and he's more excited for them
Yeah,
and like gets excited for that than when he scores his own touchdowns. And
yeah,
I think that speaks to the culture that the
love it.
Rams have, and it's been such a fun ride, and we still got so many games left to watch, which is fun.
Totally. I got a couple of super chats coming in here. Salted Fishy with a $10 super chat saying Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Let's go.
That's right.
Let's go.
That's right. Well,
Um,
I just want to say I appreciate your guys' generosity. The fact
yeah,
that you want to give us people just talking about the Rams like donations is so kind of you. So shout out to you guys.
absolutely. No, like we do this because we truly love talking about the Rams, and having that generous support is just so cool.
Yeah.
And AK Beats $5 super chat saying Rams stay in house after injuries. We have depth. I believe they should be fine. Parkinson can handle a bigger role. The O line has depth for sure. That's a great comment, and kind of transitions into what we want to talk about next year. The headline story of the day: the Rams place Lake, Higbee, and Havenstein on the IR, so they're going to miss at least 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's my first thought: is these are veteran players that you want available in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Injuries for veteran players sometimes, like re-injury, is almost scarier than the initial injury, right? And so I think that there's a lot of wisdom in the Rams medical staff. They've done a really great job over the years, especially managing veterans like that. I think out of the 3 of these, Lake will be the hardest for his production to be replicated because he's just been all over the field this year.
I agree.
I've been seeing. I saw a comment earlier, and I've been reading that kind of McCreary will kind of step into that role. Rams just traded for him. What are your thoughts on? We'll start with the defense, then we'll talk about the offense afterwards. What are your thoughts on this defense without Quentin Lake in the lineup?
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect. I was expecting this Lake injury to be something a little bit more serious than we expected, just given like reading the tea leaves of some of the what McVay was saying and things like that. So I expected Lake to be out for a little bit of time. It stinks. I think we should be able to get him back for a playoff run, which is good. But as you mentioned, I think Lake is going to be the hardest one to replace because Havenstein, very good. I think this has been one of his worst years with the Rams, unfortunately, and part of that might be because of injuries.
Yeah,
But McClendon has actually been a really good backup in place when he's needed to come in. To the fact that sometimes I forget McClendon's in the game, which is exactly what you want for an offensive line.
Yeah.
And so, to your point, I think Lake is one of those ones that is like, this is going to be the guy that's going to be tough to replace, not only from a perspective of like what he can do on the field and the different positions he can play, because the Rams use him everywhere at safety, linebacker, slot, but he's also such a big leader for this Rams team, and they lean on him. I think he's one of those guys that takes 100% of the snaps every game, and so like this is going to be definitely a tough one to replace. But McCreary, I do think, is going to be one of those guys that could be thrown in there to kind of fill that Quentin Lake role. The Rams traded for him in cases like this, and he can play the slot better than he does outside. So I would look out for that. But yeah, again, I think more than just the player and what he brings to the table as far as his role, I think Quentin Lake and what he brings to the defense, the leadership, communication, maybe felt a little bit more than anything.
Yeah, well said. And yeah, it's gonna be weird because like Quentin Lake has been like an Iron Man for the Rams like
Yes.
over the past couple of years, right? So like I can't like it's been a few years since we've seen a Rams game without Quentin Lake in it, really. So
Yeah.
that and going up against Baker Mayfield and a
Mm-hmm.
Bucks passing attack that has had success this year. Yeah, like not having Quentin Lake there is not ideal.
Yeah.
A couple of comments coming in here. Seahawks fans still salty on Twitter, and it's Wednesday. Yeah, that's fair. Rams fan my whole life. I live in Seattle. This is my outlet. Oh, happy to be that outlet for you.
Yeah, seriously. We're always going to be here for you, just talking Rams. Like,
Absolutely.
it's more of a favor for us to be able to do this for you guys than anything else.
100%. Yeah. Remembers my laugh attack from last year or last week?
That was funny.
That was funny. Yeah, I am one of those people that every now and then I just get a laugh attack and I can't stop it.
Hey, that was worth a laugh attack for sure.
Yeah, I think in my 5 years of doing this YouTube thing, it only happened one other time on a watch party, and I was like calling the game, but there was a comment that was so funny, and I was just I couldn't even focus on calling the game. Silly fun guy. Did you hear about the guy giving away dead batteries? They were free of charge.
He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you again.
Oh yeah, no. It's that. Wait, I got a drop for that. Give me a sec. Oh no! I'm not going there. It almost
say you got him again.
It almost happened. Oh man. We had another super chat from Salted Fist. Thank you so much, saying, "Hear me out. Dodgers already won the World Series. What if the Rams win the Super Bowl and Lakers win the whatever basketball's big game is, the big three? That would be incredible for one city to have that much success in the sports world. Like that's okay, the rest of the country is gonna hate you. You have that much success, right? But that'd be cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely more devoted to football than any other sports. I'll just be honest here, but I mean, that would be crazy for them to get all those other titles too, for sure, in other sports.
Yeah, absolutely. Steven coming in hot here, saying, just friendly reminder, he really hates the 49ers. And that's, what, we support.
He's not alone.
Yep, he definitely not. This is a safe space for that.
Yeah.
A couple of other comments coming in here. Dean is saying Davante Adams had a one catch for 1 yard last week due to the black jerseys. Adams was having flashbacks to beat up the ring. That's that's a good one. That's a funny one. Oh man, that's
I feel comment. Like a lot of people have been reacting to that, like Davante having that one catch, one touchdown, 1 yard. That was it. I'm glad the Rams were able to win the game without him having to do everything.
Yeah,
and kind of a credit to them. But I also think that oblique injury he had may have been affecting things more than we thought. Like, do you remember that drop he had on the dig route? Probably midway through the game, he was really open. And I was like, this is like flashbacks to the earlier part of the year when Stafford and Davante weren't like fully connecting. So hopefully he'll be a little bit healthier this week because I think the oblique was bothering him.
Yeah, I think that could be true. I also stand by the fact of like the Rams just did not have that many plays on offense when you look at the entirety of the game. Mm-hmm. And part of it is the Rams did struggle to sustain drives at times, especially in the third quarter. But it's not something that's bothering me right now. I like if it becomes a trend, like you're going up against a good Seahawks defense with a real, like one of the best defensive minds in Mike McDonald. I like if you find a way to win that game, cool. Like I'm happy with it. Now, if they struggle again against like the Bucks defense that's kind of banged up and has definitely been susceptible to, the pass and the run this year, like then okay, maybe there's cause for concern after that. But right now, no, like I'm just glad the Rams came out of Sunday with a big win.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and like you've seen what the Rams have done since the bye week, basically. They've just been putting up 30 points left and right, even
Yeah.
40 points against the Niners. So I definitely agree with you. Like, we would need a huge sample size of things going wrong for me to start being concerned. But what are your overall thoughts on this Rams Bucks game this week? It's like, first thing I think a lot of us think of is the Baker Mayfield return to SoFi game. And that's going to be sick. It's crazy how we haven't played him since he went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that is crazy. And yeah, I think that number one, I'm excited for all of the highlights we're gonna get from that Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Just because, like, that's gonna be like, the commentators are gonna be like, Baker Mayfield hopped off a plane, read some plays off a napkin, and then started quarterback for the Rams and led a 98-yard drive for the winner to Van Jefferson. Like, I'm excited for that because, like, I sometimes watch, like, highlights from that game for therapy. Just,
Yeah.
when if you have a bad day, just put on Baker Mayfield Thursday night highlights with the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, though, I think Baker, if we see, like, Baker where he just, like, shows up and takes over a game, which he's one of the quarterbacks in the league that are absolutely capable of doing that.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, we got a problem, right? The Baker is in the kitchen right now, baking up a storm. I think that this game has the potential of being a high scoring, like, high flying offense type of game, especially with Quentin Lake being out. I think that's a pretty huge blow. So we'll see. This also might be a game that comes down to, like, special teams. Oddly enough, just I think both offenses are going to put points on the board, but it might be like, okay, that punt return late in the game that gets a team into good field position, or maybe it's like a muff punt, or like a missed field goal, or like a bad kickoff or something. Like, I feel like a game like this that is important in the grand scheme of the NFC could really, like, little mistakes could really cost you the game here. So that's kind of what I'm looking for when I think about this game, is like, which team is going to be the most mistake free, and I do think that favors the Rams right now.
Mm-hmm. That's a very interesting way of looking at it too. Like, I think turnovers and things like that is always going to determine things. Obviously, who wins that battle a lot of the times determines who wins the game. But for me, I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I just have a good feeling about this Rams offense against the Bucks defense, and their weakest point has been against the pass, particularly like letting up a bunch of passing yards. And so I'm kind of looking towards there with Stafford, who can dice up any kind of secondary. And I have a really good feeling about how our passing game is going to be. Their run defense is a lot better than their passing defense is. But yeah, I have a good feeling about our offense. For some reason, I agree with you too. You said that Baker Mayfield's one of those quarterbacks that can just take over a game. I mean, like, look at what he did with the Rams against the Raiders with that 98-yard drive. So I definitely agree he has that capability. For some reason in this game, I feel like he's going to have one or two decisions where he tries to fit it in a tight window, or he throws it on the run, does something where the Rams capitalize and get a turnover. And I don't know why. Like, I can't shake that feeling. I think that the Rams are going to win by almost 10 points in this game. I think it's going to feel closer than that, but I think that the Rams defense is going to figure out a couple ways to get turnovers.
Okay.
And I think I have a good feeling about the Rams offense being able to move against this defense, despite some of the good players that they have out there.
Yeah. No, I absolutely, like, I don't think it's crazy for the Rams to have over, 400 plus yards of total offense in this game. Like, I think that's definitely in play for sure. A great comment here by Rams Mom. Hey, good to see you. Thanks for coming up. Saying Bucks quarterback Baker Mayfield and wide receiver Emeka Ibuka. I always mess up his last name. Ibuka.
There you go.
were among 6 players who were limited in practice today because of illness. Yeah, I briefly saw that on X. I not overly concerned about Baker missing this game. Maybe he just ate something or things like that. But oh, thanks, Sheriff Joe from Ram Showcase. Egg Buka, thank you,
There you go.
thank
There
you.
you go.
And strikers help me, man. Love it. People, the chat helped me out. Appreciate
They
you.
do.
Appreciate
Yeah, they got your
everybody.
back.
The love, the love, the love, the love. But yeah, I like. I'm not concerned about Baker, missing this game or especially this game. But what are your thoughts about just overall this connection between Baker Mayfield and Egg Buka?
There you go.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I think they're a dangerous connection, and I don't expect any of them to miss this game because of like illness. I feel like that rarely ever happens. So I expect both of them to play. I don't think the illness is going to affect their connection. Ibuka has just been so good since he
Yeah,
entered the league, especially like the first 4 to 6 games. He was just like on a complete tear. So he's going to be a problem. But the Rams have seen a lot of kind of weapons against their defense over this season that they've done a good job against or found ways to win. And JSN has probably been like the best receiver statistically this year in the NFL that we just faced. And the Rams didn't do terribly against him compared to what he could do. So definitely, as long as you don't let him kill you, I think that the Rams are going to be fine.
yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And just want to say, Salted Fishing, thanks for all the super chats. Have a good night.
So
I see you're heading out. It's very generous of you, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that connection, though?
I get excited when I see players that I like succeed. Baker's one of those players that I definitely like. And and I also get excited for when like young players that were kind of not on anyone's radar come into the league and do well. That's always cool. And I think it actually speaks well of the Bucs coaching staff because they've actually had a good wide receiving history for a couple of years now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it seems like every year, like a new Buccaneers wide receiver is kind of taken off, right? I actually a wide receiver that I've seen flashes with this year is Ted Johnson, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a young player that could have a bright history, and he could definitely be a factor in this game that the Rams will have to watch out for. I let me say this. I think it'd be inappropriate for Ram fans to think that this Bucs team isn't going to put points up on the board this game. I don't think it's unrealistic for the Rams to win and put up more points, but I do think like this is a Bucs offense we do need to respect. Baker has been playing at a high level, and I know the Bucs running game has been banged up, especially with Bucky Irving out most of the year. He's a difference maker for sure, but I do respect what this Buccaneers offense is capable of, especially if Baker is in baking mode.
Yeah. I mean, like even last week they lost against the Bills, but they put up 32 points. Like,
yeah,
they're not an offense to be taken lightly at all. I don't know why. I have a good feeling that the Rams are going to be opportunistic and get a couple turnovers, like maybe 1 to 2 this game. It's just like, I think that's sometimes what people knock Baker Mayfield for is him like trying to do too much or like thinking he can fit it in a tight window or be like a little more aggressive than he needs to at times.
Yeah.
And he's still a great quarterback, but I think that the Rams can maybe force 1 or 2 of those decisions this game, even without Quentin Lake. And so we'll see what ends up happening, though. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, isn't this the game that they're celebrating Aaron Donald? Like, I was like, what if they celebrate it by having him come out in full uniform?
Yeah,
and the Bucs just aren't expecting it.
Yeah, and there's he's not playing, right? Like,
yeah, that's just a skit, right?
Yeah, that would be hilarious. Oh man, did you see the Aaron Donald bobblehead at the Rams training? That was so funny. Oh man,
like that massive one, like 4 feet tall. That was hilarious.
That was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting game though. I'm glad this one's in prime time.
Definitely. Yeah. And I feel like there's been so many Rams games this year that I'm like, oh man, I wish this was in prime, like this could be in
Yes,
prime time. And finally, we get one. We
I
get
know.
one, right?
It should
Um,
be a little more entertaining than the Eagles Lions was last week. That
yeah,
one was just kind of like kind of
yeah.
boring. Hopefully,
Let,
I think the Rams are going to put some fireworks. Yeah.
let me say this. I actually have like if the Rams were playing the Lions or the Eagles right now, I have more faith in the Buccaneers scoring over 30 on the Rams than either of those teams right now.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's looking right now. Eagles and Lions haven't really impressed me a lot on offense. So yeah, I'm with you there. I think the Bucks are, especially with Baker Mayfield back there. Like I know he has his weapons injured with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, like Irving out, but it's Baker Mayfield. Like he's going to find a
Yeah,
way to move down the field. So I'm definitely with you there.
totally. Before we move on to our next segment, I see some people chatting here um, about Forbes and said I thought
Mm,
Forbes held his own against JSN, and Ram
yeah.
Showcase is saying Forbes did more than just hold his own. He's playing some good football. I love this for Emmanuel Forbes, and
Yeah.
I let's take a time, a journey back in time with sound effects.
Yeah, I like it.
Emmanuel Forbes gets cut by the Commanders, and the Rams pick him up off waivers in season. And I legit remember like just thinking, oh, this is the most like no risk, high reward ever,
Hmm.
right? You claim him off waivers. It was kind of a surprise that the Rams got him off waivers.
I agree.
You think other teams would have put in for him,
Hmm.
and then he didn't really play much last year. I think maybe week 18 against the Seahawks a little bit. Like I don't, we didn't see much Emmanuel Forbes, right?
Yeah, it's just that Seahawks game. You're right.
But then the draft prep comes, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Rams, like they're probably taking a corner. Like first 2 rounds, Rams are taking a corner." Like, and every mock draft you saw, every draft analyst and expert was like, "Yeah, the Rams got to take a corner at some point."
Hmm.
The Rams don't draft any corners. And then here we are. We go into training camp, and you have Darius Williams, you have Akella Weatherspoon, you have Kobe Durant. You know, you had KD was there, like Darren Kendrick or DK. Sorry,
Hmm.
Darren Kendrick was there. No, he's not a Ram
Hmm.
anymore. And you can't help but think the Rams saw something in Emmanuel Forbes that was like, oh, we don't need to invest a draft pick in a corner because we're going to train up Emmanuel Forbes and we value where he's at in his progress than if
Hmm.
we were to use a first or a second or any round pick on a corner. And so, and then like he had like a minor injury during training camp and things like that. And so here we are. Emmanuel Forbes has resurrected his career. He's playing some really good football. And I've seen Commanders fans, like I know on part of my
Yeah.
take, like did you see the PMT commentator, like who's one of the more famous Commander fans out there? He's like, what is this? Emmanuel Forbes is good now?
Yeah, there's a lot of Commanders fans that want Emmanuel Forbes right now and are like,
Yeah.
I've seen a good handful say that like, I know the Commanders aren't that good this year, so I'm kind of rooting for the Rams now because Emmanuel Forbes and Cameron Curl. So like, that's cool to see. And Forbes, I think it's important to note he didn't start the year incredibly strong, especially like the first 4 to 6 games. Like he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't the reason the Rams secondary was doing good. But the last 4 games, and like the chat was mentioning, his performance against JSN was probably the best any corner has done against him
Yeah.
all year, just in particular of like when they're matched up 1-on-1, isolated. And I'm excited for him. Like this is a guy that even I saw like some Rams fans giving up on in the middle of the year. And it's exciting to see. And I can't wait to see what happens when Akello comes back too,
Yeah.
because you're gonna have Akello and Forbes who are both big, like longer corners. And then you get Quentin Lake back and Kobe Durant. I think he's been playing really well too.
Yeah.
So I agree with you though. Everybody's always pegging the cornerback room to be addressed in the offseason since Jalen Ramsey left. But the Rams have found a way, a lot of it due to their pass rush and due to Chris Shula and the development of these young guys, to be able to do well on defense, even without like these premier, like household name kind of guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as I know, he's on my Forbes 500.
Hey, I like what you did there.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to go through a couple comments before our next section here. Sheriff Joe's saying lots of points feel very real, 38-42 type of game. Miami, good to see you. Saying white jerseys. I'm thinking blue pants again. Okay. I'm thinking Soul. Yeah, we're both going Soul.
It just feels right.
This is hilarious, Rams Bob. So we got a Cooper Cup tribute. Do we get a Baker Mayfield tribute video?
Well, as Muad'Dib said, he's not dead. I like that reference to what Cooper Cup said last week.
Oh, you guys are gonna get me on another laugh attack. Oh man.
That would be fun. I mean, I don't think that people should understate what Baker Mayfield has done for Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people like to look at it in the terms of like, we revived Baker's career, we made him like football again, and all that's true. Baker has said that. But if you guys remember, when Baker Mayfield was on this Rams roster, was in that 2022 season when the Rams were so beat up, they were barely finding ways to win any games. They were close in a lot of games, but they lost a lot of games. And this was the year that McVay was like at the end of his rope, and he was considering, do I come back to coach for another like however many years, or do I retire? And McVay has mentioned in the past that Baker is one of those guys that made him realize like what he loved about football, and it kind of like reinvigorated him in a season that was so tough. So I'm forever going to be thankful for Baker Mayfield, not only for the fact he gave us such great entertainment, and even that Broncos game on Christmas was amazing.
Yes.
The 50+ points he put up on him. And I guess Kobe Durant had a pick six that game. But regardless, Baker's brought us a lot of fun memories, and definitely have been rooting for him when he's not playing us. This week, it's going to be fun to be able to play him and see him up close and personal at SoFi again.
Definitely, I agree. And yeah, I'll always treasure the Baker Mayfield short era of the Rams. And that's a really good point. I hadn't thought of before about like, Sean McVay was kind of at, one of his low points, and Baker really helped him kind of pick up after that. Yeah. Got a $10 super chat here. Thank you so much.
You guys are incredible.
Jacindo, Rams look good. They need to handle business Sunday night. Don't embarrass us on national TV. I don't think they will. It's rare to have a Rams game where you're flat out embarrassed, right? Like,
no, that doesn't happen much. Especially, I mean, when I think of being embarrassed in primetime, my first thought goes to that Ravens-Rams game in 2019 when they put up it was like 46-6 or something. I don't think we'll see that though. I don't think that we'll see that. But thanks again for the super chat.
Yeah. I do see some people. We're going to get into our segments here, but I shout out Darwin's Ravens, great Ravens content creator. Appreciate you being here. I think let's briefly touch on the Falcons pick. I see some people talking about it. Currently it's at 8. Michael Penix is out for the year now. Drake London's going to miss some time. I think every Rams fan out there has had like this side thing of like, we're not like sad when the Falcons win, but like we're not happy when they lose, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Like it's a side quest going on. What are your thoughts on if the Rams get like a top 10 pick from the Falcons next year, which there's a good chance now?
I'd be absolutely amazed. I'm already amazed with how the Rams pulled that off when it happened real time, getting that first round pick. It was incredible. And now looking at where it could be, like it legitimately could get to the top 5 pick, just considering where the Falcons are right now.
Yeah.
And I'd be more curious to see. I think a lot of people are just like, I've talked to some of my friends this week about it, and they've said they think that the Rams are definitely going to use this pick on a quarterback. Yeah. And I'm not really on that train right now of thinking, just given where the quarterback class is. But I also think I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams traded out of this pick and accumulated more, whether it be in this draft or a future first. And I think what I'm most excited about in all of this is there are literally thousands of possibilities of what the Rams could do with this. And the Rams have been creative, but when was the last time the Rams have been in a position with a pick this high? And in the McVay era, he's never had a pick this high. And if we get into the top 5, like, there's so many different directions they can go with this, and the Rams are not in a position where it's like there's a dire need at this position. Like,
Yeah.
we're pretty filled out. If Stafford leaves, obviously that's gonna be a need, but, if he doesn't leave, like, what? There's so many doors open for this, so I'm excited. 2 first-round picks from a team that was always F them picks before, and now they are collecting a bunch of those picks. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I stand by the take that we do as football fans and the NFL as a whole, we put way too much stock in first round pick talent.
Yes.
Because how many first round picks don't work out, right? That being said, there is something exciting about having the draft capital to draft like a blue chip, like franchise player sort of, that you could do. I'm not convinced though that the Rams won't trade it away. Unless it really is for like someone that's a generational talent. I'm not convinced the Rams don't find a trading partner for it. And because I feel like the Rams value quantity over like the quality of pick in regards to the NFL draft. They've had a lot of success in drafts where they've drafted more players. You think back to the 2022 season where I think the pick that the Rams traded to the Lions, I forget how high it was. Wasn't it like 6 or something like that?
6, yeah.
Yeah. The Rams did just fine that draft without a first-round pick. And so, yeah, I'm excited. It's a fun narrative going on. I am someone that, like, whenever the Falcons lose, I'm like, okay, that gets a little higher. Yeah. That's cool. But, like, I do think we need to hold up on the, like, okay, it's going to be a quarterback or it's going to be a wide receiver, because I personally I think the Rams trade that pick away because it's going to have a lot of trade value to it.
Yeah, I think I'm at the point of like speculating to all the way up into April is like you're probably going to get that prediction right. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams traded out of this pick, but like so many of these players can change of like going up draft boards, down draft boards. Maybe this pick doesn't become very valuable because teams don't really like the top end talent. Like, there's a lot of different directions this could go. But I think one thing's for sure. If the Rams use this first-round pick, it's going to be on a guy with the first name Jared, right?
Yeah, right?
That's just a prerequisite.
I mean, the last, like, every first-round pick the Rams have had since 2016, their first-round player has been named Jared.
Yeah, they traded away their first rounder this year because there was no Jared's. So we decided to go for Terrence Ferguson.
Why would we draft someone who's not named Jared?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Jared Manny.
That's funny. But yeah, it's going to be fun to see. I have thoroughly enjoyed watching this play out, to see the Rams pick get better and better. And I'm so curious, like, by the time we go 10 years from now and look back at this trade, I think we're going to think it's a good trade, but will we be thinking more and remembering more of Nate Landman, or are we going to be remembering more of this first round pick?
100%.
That's what I'm trying. Like, that's what I'm considering. I'm like, everybody's like freaking out about this first round pick and excited, and that makes sense. But they're obviously like coin flips. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. Again, like you said, maybe the Rams don't pick anybody and they trade out of it. But we may remember Nate Landman more than we do this first round pick. And Landman didn't get that kind of buzz when we brought him in at first. So that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Nate Landman as a free agent, like 1 year prove it deal, has made more impact than any first round pick that we could have made this year, probably in the draft, right? Like,
yeah, it's insane to see what he's done. And I hope the Rams bring him back. I wonder if they're going to do that in season. I'm not sure, but he seems like one of those guys that wants to come back and that enjoys the culture. So hopefully the Rams prioritize the linebacker position and bring him back, because he's he did have another peanut punch last week against the
Yeah.
Seahawks. The Rams just didn't recover it.
Yeah.
But he's amazing. He's such a blast.
It's truly, it's been fun. He's been one of the fun storylines for the Rams this year for sure. As you take your sip of water, do you feel quenched enough to talk over Rams actions?
That's the whole reason I got my sip of water, because I was like, gotta get ready for a good over Rams action segment here.
Let's go.
But yeah, hopefully you guys are ready in the chat for over Rams action Wednesday. If you guys don't know, if you're new here for the first time finding this channel, well, over Rams action Wednesday is a spinoff of what Rich Eisen and Chris Brockman do on their overreaction Monday segment. And I'm going to be pitching to you guys some potential hot takes that, of course, all are revolving around the Los Angeles Rams. And you guys are going to react if it's a fair take and if it's not coming out of left field or if it's a hot take. But here, of course, on First Down Rams, we call the hot takes over Rams actions. Yep. So starting off here, number one, I figured we have a couple reunion Rams coming in this game, Rams and Bucks. We have players that have played on the Rams that are going to be playing against the Rams this week, including Greg Gaines and Baker Mayfield. A lot of people are looking at Mayfield, but Greg Gaines will be making his return to SoFi Stadium.
Right.
So in saying all of that, Greg Gaines is going to have more tackles than Baker Mayfield has touchdowns this Sunday against the Rams.
Wow. Oh, okay. Wow, that's a deep cut. I like it. Greg Gaines. I remember, okay, before I answer, I just want to say, I remember like talking to my friends about Greg Gaines, about how he's like the most disrespected player in the NFL.
Yes.
Like I was a staunch defender of Greg Gaines.
Yeah.
I don't think that's crazy. I let me think. Like, I guess that would mean the Rams are running towards him a lot. And then but I think Baker's gonna score. Like, I don't. I'm actually struggling with this. I'm gonna lean. I don't think that is an over Rams action. I think it's realistic for Greg. And I haven't even looked up his stats. I'm not sure what he's doing. But I could totally see Greg Gaines getting more tackles than Baker Mayfield has touchdowns.
Yeah, we'll see. Excited to see how this one plays out here. We have him saying facts.
Yep.
We say not an over Rams action from Muad'Dib.
Yep.
Ram Showcase, I think that's fair and fair. I tend to agree with them. I think that this is fair. Gaines is obviously one of those guys that doesn't fill out the stat sheet of like getting a ton of sacks, but he's a really good role player. And I still remember him when Jordan Rodriguez covered the Rams. She would always refer to him as the rolling ball of cheese because of like the competitions of the cheese rolling down the hill in a different country with how fast he is. So like, yeah, people would call him like the fastest player in the NFL jokingly. So it's going to be fun to see how this one plays out. But I don't think that's an over Rams action to say he has more tackles than Mayfield has touchdowns. Yeah. All right. Number two, kind of coming off the injury news that we learned with Rob Havenstein, Tyler Higbee, and Quentin Lake being placed on IR, I began thinking about Warren McClendon's impact here with the Rams.
Okay.
Warren McClendon is not going to give his job back for the rest of the year. Even when Havenstein is healthy, McClendon is going to hold this spot down.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, so let me think. Rams schedule. They have the Bucks, then at home. Then they go on the road to Carolina, road to Arizona. Then they're home for Detroit. So he's going to miss at least 4 games. Then they got a short week, and they go to Seattle. Then they have a nice long like mini bye, and they play Monday Night Football at Atlanta, and then they finish off at home. You know what? I don't think that's an over Rams action because I kind of feel like we've seen that happen like throughout the season where like McClendon's looking pretty good, like Rob's having a rough day at the office sort of thing. Like, yeah, like this comment here is I don't think we'd soft bench a captain. I think in I don't think this is an over Rams action at the end of the day, just because I do think Warren McClellan is playing really well, and we've seen it that like McVay and the Rams coaching staff, they're smart enough. They know their players. I don't think that's crazy to think that Warren McClellan wins the starting job for the rest of the year. Yeah, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, I'm back and forth on it because people are bringing up great points in the chat. Like, he is a captain of this team. He's been with this team since the St. Louis days, and he's a veteran. He's a leader. You can't discount what he's done for the Rams. Yeah. I would argue that this year really has been one of his worst years with the Rams, even if it hasn't led to sacks. Like, there's been a lot of quick and easy wins, and that could be because he's been playing through some injuries, and now he's finally going to get a chance to completely like rehabilitate. But McClendon, I have been so impressed with in the time that he has stepped in for Havenstein. I think a lot of it's going to depend on how McClendon does in this sample size of games he has when Havenstein is out. Because, as you mentioned, we're going to be playing a team like the Lions. And with Aiden Hutchinson against him, I think that's going to be a big test. You're going to be tested against some really good pass rushers. But if he holds his own, and if he's giving the Rams no reason to take him out for an extended period of time, the Rams have shown you in the past they don't care about what you've done with the Rams and the draft stock they put into you. Just look at Cooper Kupp, and a guy that they invested into, created so many memories, and they were quickly able to let go of him. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm just saying, like, keep your eyes open for it, because the Rams are always open to competition, and they seem to always go with whoever the better player is. So could McClendon play well enough in this stretch to keep the job? It's certainly going to be interesting to keep track.
Yeah, no, that's a fair take. All right, I'm ready for the next one. You're hot tonight.
Very hot.
Bring the heat.
We're going back to an old standby here. Number 3, Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua will combine for 200 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. This is them put together, their stat lines.
That's not over. I don't have to think about that. That's not no.
Really?
That's not. Yeah, I just think this game, the Bucs defense, the vibe of this game gonna be, the offenses are gonna put points up, and especially on Sunday Night Football, it's common for your star players to make star player plays. Yeah, easy money. Yeah, not an over Rams action. Yeah,
Here's the one thing where I could, and Ducendo says over Rams action here. Okay. Here's one thing where I could argue the other side and say this is an over Rams action.
Let's hear it.
If I know Tyler Higbee just got hurt, but the Rams trend over the last handful of games, basically since the Jaguars game, has been running the 13 personnel, the 3 tight ends and the 1 receiver. So with that, the Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are getting less opportunities, not only on the field playing wise and snap count wise, but even getting the ball thrown to them compared to like earlier in the year. This would be like a no doubt, like this is going to happen when they were getting peppered with targets left and right. But if the Rams continue their 13 personnel, and I've seen Sheriff Joe Bags bring this up before, like you had Konate Muntfield, who was in at receiver, and you had like Terrence Ferguson, Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, and Blake Corum in there in the 13 personnel, to where all these like big name starters were off the field, and the Rams are okay with that because the depth they have. And that's the one part I could argue the other way of, like, do they get enough opportunities to put up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns together? I think they're completely capable, but will the game plan allow that? And that's where I'm just going to be curious to see how the Rams attack this.
Yeah, and I think this could be a game where the Rams actually don't run that much 13 personnel. Like, I don't think they'll need to be in heavy formations as much against this Buccaneers defense. And we have seen Sean McVay have success against Todd Bowles-led defenses before, out of light formations, out of 11-man personnel. Yeah. And so, like, in a way, I actually think if there is one game on the Rams schedule where we see less heavy formations in the 13 personnel, especially with Higbee going on IR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm curious what you guys in the chat think of with Higbee being injured. Do you guys think the Rams are going to steer a little bit more away from that 13 personnel? Because I understand they still have Davis Allen, Colby Parkinson, Terrence Ferguson, and they just got a guy off the Vikings practice squad to be their tight end last week. So, like, they have depth, but I was listening to, I don't know if any of you guys heard this on I'm trying to remember, I'm forgetting the name of the channel, but Jimmy Graham was on this podcast talking about the use of 13 personnel and why it's so
I
advantageous.
That was on the Believe.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was great.
That was a great interview, and he talked about how much stress it brings to a defense when you run a 13 personnel offense and what kind of like conundrums it puts the defense in. So I don't know if I see the Rams fully going away from the 13 personnel, but I do know that they have the talent to do 11, 12, 13, even 22 if they wanted to. So definitely going to be interesting to watch here. I don't know if this is a guarantee, though, that you have over 200 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns combined between them, but we'll see.
Yeah. We got a $5 super chat here from ATA
MVP.
Yeah, thanks so much.
This guy's going crazy.
That's
Thank you so much.
generous. Davis Allen, very capable tight end one. Yeah, interesting. On the depth chart right now, I was looking at before the show. Parkinson is actually listed as tight end 1 right now.
Who is?
It's Colby Parkinson.
Really?
Yeah. And then Allen's behind him, and then it's Ferguson. Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, if Ferguson's going to have like a bigger role with Higbee being out, because like they're very different style tight ends. But regardless, it'll be fun to keep an eye on this. And thanks for that super chat again.
Oh,
number
I
4.
I pronouncing it wrong. It's at Beats.
Or is it Attack Beats?
Oh, that makes more sense. Attack Beats. Yeah, my bad.
Hopefully we have it right. It took us a while to get Muad'Dib, but hopefully we got you right there. All right. Number 4. We talked about this earlier in the show. The Rams are going to have a top 5 draft pick this year. They're going to be in the top 5 in the first round.
Oh, okay. I actually think this week is a really important week if the Falcons lose again. Let me look at the Falcons schedule. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
I need to see it. It's in play. It's absolutely in play.
Especially, you have Penix going out with an injury and Drake London, as you talked about, with an injury. I will say, for the amount of things the Falcons have done wrong as far as losing games, they have been close in a lot of these. Like, even against good teams like the Colts, they were close. So,
well, their last 2 games, they lost in overtime.
Yeah. So, it's not like they're terrible.
Yeah.
But,
okay, so they're on the road to the Saints division rival. Okay, they're not going to lose to the Jets. They're not going to
imagine.
No, they're okay. So the Saints, I don't think they're going to lose, but that's the Saints have played hard.
Divisional.
Yeah, it's divisional. They're at home. I don't think they're going to lose twice to the Saints, though. I think they split with them.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 1 win there. They're not going to lose to the Jets. I am not going to say they're going to lose to the Jets, who just benched Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor. Yeah. So you got at least 2 or 3. I think they're going to lose to Seattle. I think they lose to Tampa. Oh, are the Cardinals going to be the Could you imagine if the Cardinals are the reason the Rams get a top 5 pick? Because the Cardinals beat the Falcons?
I would love that.
But, I'm looking at this. So let's say they split with the Saints. They beat New York. That's 2 wins. So that takes them to a 5-win team.
Does 5 wins get you in the top 5?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Like when I look at teams like the Titans, the Saints, the Jets, I can't put the Falcons, even though they've had a disastrous season by all accounts, right? But I don't think the Rams get a top 5 pick. I do think it's top 10 though. Yeah, which is still cool.
Well, yeah, and I think somebody brought up in the chat too that Kirk Cousins is a very good quarterback, as far as a backup goes.
Yeah.
So he definitely can win you some games there too. But going to be interesting. Even if you're in the top 10, I think you'd take that going from the pick 26 this year in this draft and going up to top 10, even if that's what you get at worst. I'm not complaining about that at all.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Yeah, we had a lot of people saying different things in the chat on this one.
There's some strong opinions, yeah.
Yeah, Falcons are a bad road team. They might lose those games and win home games.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins can win can win games. Yeah, he has a lot of experience there. We will get a top 5 pick 100%. So you got a lot of different opinions here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting. Definitely, I don't think any Rams fans is just going to forget to track this.
You know what? I'll say this. If for some reason they lose to the Jets, yeah,
that's true. But as we brought up, like the Falcons have lost games really close to really good teams. So like they really haven't been a team that's just been bad all around. They've just found ways to lose those close games too. So we'll see.
Yep.
My last one for all the people that love uniforms. I don't know if any of you guys in the chat saw this. Somebody on social media who is very into like uniform kind of news across the NFL and has broken a lot of stories on that talked about how the Rams are going to, or they filed to get new uniforms for the 2026 season. And this isn't just like one alternate uniform, it'd be like a whole new set. Yeah. And if the Rams get new uniforms next year, there will be no gradients. I know a lot of people care about that. And the reason the Rams haven't gotten an alternate uniform, other than obviously the rivalries, that's a whole different thing, is because they've been planning on making these tweaks and changing the whole set entirely. So this is a long over Rams action, but would you say it's an over Rams action, or is that fair?
I don't think it is. The Rams have a history of changing up their uniforms, probably more than the average like NFL team. And okay, I'll tell it like it is. I feel like every NFL podcaster out there, like, let me tell you how it is.
Listen to me here.
Yeah, I'll tell you how this is, right? The Rams uniforms, when like the Royal and the Bone were first announced, they weren't well received. I think they've grown on people,
totally,
including myself. I go to the point now where I'm like, you know what, they look good.
Yeah.
Cool. I still think the modern throwbacks are my favorite jerseys that the Rams wear currently, but I don't think they were like these jerseys that the Rams were happy with the reception of it, but they put so much resources into that, like that rebrand and things like that. But we've seen the Rams tweak their jerseys so many times. Like, go back 30 years even. The Rams have had so many different jersey tweaks. And I totally think it's realistic for them to do something like that in the next 4 years. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. I've told you this before. I've told the internet before. I would love a crisp kind of modern throwback version to the dark blue and white jerseys. I think those are my favorite jerseys.
That would look cool.
I wasn't even alive when those were the Rams jerseys, but I think they look so cool whenever I see them. So I would love like a dark blue with a white on it. I think it looks fresh.
Yeah, and I see people like Johnny Ripley here. He says, go back to the 1999 uniforms. Simple. Don't mess with the freaking horn. Get rid of the wave horn. I know a lot of people in the Rams fan base that want them just to return to their throwbacks, or even people talk about adding that as an alternate uniform. I think if you add it as an alternate uniform, the whole fan base would be like, why not just make these permanent? Yeah. So I think that the Rams, unfortunately for a lot of people who want these throwbacks, aren't going to ever go back into having those as just the primary full uniforms again.
Yeah.
I think the closest we get to it is them doing what they did with the modern throwback, where it's the splash of the newer brighter colors, but kind of like a nod to the past in the style of them.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see if in the uniform change, if they do change the horn, like people talk about, because people don't like the broken horn. I personally don't mind it. It looks futuristic, but I also don't mind the old horns. If they changed the horns on the new uniforms, that would make me believe that their logo would change too, which I haven't heard that that's going to happen. Because if you look at the Rams LA logo, on your hat, it has that split horn thing. And even on the first down Rams, yeah, you look at the first down Rams thing too, it has the split horn.
Yeah.
So if the new uniforms don't have that split horn, I'd be surprised, because that would probably mean they'd have to change the logo again.
And we'd have to change our logo.
I know we have an identity crisis.
Yeah. Another super chat coming in. Add a third wave to the
kind.
horn, more of a hook. Oh, interesting. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that where it's like they don't like how short it ends. They want it to like curl fully around.
Oh,
I think you have a point that the Rams fan base probably talks about uniforms and colors more than any other fan base in the NFL. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch though.
Yeah, Johnny Ripple saying, "What do you think of the black unis? They look way better than I thought." So I want to stand by. They are not black; they are midnight blue, and there is a difference. And I remember I did a video on my Canva account, and I used the color match tool to prove they are not black.
Midnight blue.
They are midnight blue. But honestly, I thought they looked cool. I liked it, and I loved how they went like they decked out SoFi in the midnight blue.
That was really cool.
But ultimately, my favorite thing about the midnight blue jerseys were 1-0 wearing them.
Love it. Yeah, imagine if your first experience is losing in a heartbreaker to the Seahawks in a big game. Like, winning certainly helps.
Yeah,
they look sweet though.
Yeah,
I don't know if did you see when Byron Young was on. Oh gosh, why is his name escaping me now?
Was he on K Adams?
No, Byron Young was on former Rams player. He played for the Rams, St. Louis Rams. Why is his name? Played on the Eagles too. Chris Long.
Oh,
he was on Chris Long's podcast, and Chris Long was like, he strongly disliked the Rams like midnight mode uniforms. And Byron Young was like, "What are you talking about? Like, these are sick."
I saw that.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, if you run a 4-4 and you're a pass rusher, you look good in those uniforms." But to me, I like they looked even better live.
Yeah, 100%.
Like on TV.
Yeah.
And I already liked them when they first came out. I think something I saw a lot of fans mentioning when they first came out was the blue shoulder and how they didn't like that. And I was one of those. I was like, I'm not sure why we have like blue, like our other blue on this uniform. Like, it just looked out of place at first, but that grew on me. And then seeing it like live on TV made it look really cool too.
Yeah, undefeated, and we haven't even talked about our kicking situation, which is a good thing.
It is,
right? Like. That's a huge blessing that we don't talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Is that the last of the over Rams actions?
That is not an over Rams action. That was the last one.
Oh, sorry. That's what I meant. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. You were coming in bringing the heat tonight.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, are you cool if we transition to what's more likely, but it's just the Rams?
Let's do it. So
okay. I tried to bring some heat. Last week, I only had 4. I made sure I brought 5 this week. And so for those of you who are new here, this is how it works. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. And yes, we totally copied this off the Rich Eisen show. We're having fun with it. But it's just about the Rams. It's all Rams related. That's it. If you're expecting something not Rams related, you've clicked on the wrong video. But I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. And you can say in the chat, and Rams House will say on here, what situation is more likely. So this is what's more likely, but it's just the Rams.
Let's go.
All right. First one coming in hot. What's more likely? A Rams defender does a ring me celebration.
Oh, that would be so cool.
As a tribute to AD after a sack, or a Rams player scores 2 touchdowns in this game versus the Bucs.
That's a really good one. I didn't even think about it. That would be so cool to see, like Jared Verse or Kobe Turner or any of that. That would be so cool. I think, oddly enough, it's more likely to see the 2 touchdowns. A player scores 2 touchdowns for the Rams.
Yep.
Because this is exactly what I was thinking. Muad'Dib brought it up too early to ring me. Like,
that's a good point.
That would be a tribute. It would make sense for Rams fans, but a lot of people watching would be like, "Why are they saying ring me? This is a regular season game." So.
But the commentators they could like show like the highlight and make maybe you're right.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But what's more likely? I would probably say a player scoring 2 touchdowns. But I want to see that. I want to see the first option happen more.
Okay. Oh, that's fair. Also, shout out Grandizer in the house. Good to see you.
Grandizer, what a classic.
Absolutely. Ram Showcase is saying, going to say 2 touchdowns. I'm not sure the ring me in this. Okay, that's fair. I had to ask because I think there's a chance that as a tribute. Like I could see if Kobe Turner got a sack, I would love that if he did the Ring Me tribute just to AD. That'd be cool. Yeah.
That would be so like all Rams fans would align at one part and be like, I know what that is. That's a tribute. Like that would be cool.
Would be.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, so next one here. What's more likely? Nate Landman forces another fumble this game, or Jordan Whittington gets 2 first down catches this game?
That's a good one. Because Jordan Whittington hasn't been super involved basically since the 13 personnel came about. But you're saying you think that the Rams are going to use more 11 personnel this game, you think?
I think there's a chance, yeah.
That's a good one. I'm going to go with Nate Landman. I'm going not a slight against Jordan Whittington, but Landman's been on fire. So I'm going to go with optimistic Landman here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing Landman peanut punch out. That's a great comment there. Great use of emojis.
He understood the assignment.
Yeah. Our resident Seahawks fan, Eric, one of the nicest Seahawks fans you'll ever meet, saying congrats again. Thank you.
So respectful.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone's saying Nate Landman. Okay, fair enough. All right, let me see if I can cause a little more drama on this next one here. Okay.
Ooh, stirring things up here.
Okay. Actually, these next 3 I'm quite proud of. I'll be honest. So, what's more likely? Baker's Thursday night game as a Rams gets mentioned in the first quarter of this game, or Kyron or Corum have more than a 10-yard run. So either one of them, because they both take them. So one of them have more than a 10-yard run on the Rams' first drive of the game.
All day, the first one. I could see, this is one of those that I want to say both, but obviously I can't. I have to pick one. There's no way. Like I even say even before the game starts, there's gonna be like an interview or a story before it, like they even kick the ball off. Like Baker Mayfield came here 2 days after signing with the Rams and played a game and won in this building. So I'm going. It's so production-y, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Striker thinks Kyron. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people thinking Baker, and I'll just say this: I love that we all know that it's going to be one of the most over talked about points heading into this game. And
I'm here for it though.
Oh, me too. Like NBC, they're going to show like the touchdown to Van Jefferson or the first down catch to Ben Skoranek. Like I can't wait. And I'm going to eat it all up. But yeah, everyone's the first minute of the literally like the moment Baker Mayfield touches the field, they're gonna be like, last time Baker Mayfield was in SoFi Stadium.
Yeah. Well, as Rams Showcase says here, this is exactly where I'm thinking. He'll get mentioned in the pregame when the commentators come on the screen. Like that is, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on that happening.
Absolutely.
But speaking of the 98-yard drive that he had against the Raiders when he came and played on the 2 days notice, legit. That's exactly where my mind went to in the Seahawks game when Ethan Evans pinned them like on the inch-yard line.
Yeah.
And Evans was like celebrating. I got flashbacks to that Raiders game because you remember when he pinned us down and he was like celebrating, running down the field. He was feeling himself. And I was like, I hope history doesn't repeat itself in our own building. Luckily, it didn't.
I didn't think about it. Yeah, I remember when because the Raiders punter had a fantastic punt.
That was crazy.
And I remember being like, oh, no, that was a really good punt. And then when Baker started getting first downs after first down, and you're like, oh, Baker's going to do this.
Yeah. Well, because it was scary, too, because we started that like close to our own end zone. And Baker threw a pick on that drive, but I think there was pass interference on Van Jefferson, which kept the drive alive.
We always forget about that.
I feel like another thing that like we forget about, too, in this Baker game, John Wolford started the game. Like he was the quarterback. Was it for the first like 2 drives, and then they took him out?
I think it was just a couple plays, and they took him out.
It was well, yeah. I feel like it was like the first drive or first 2 drives, and they punted it, and Baker went out there. So that's always like a fun trivia thing of like Baker Mayfield didn't even start his first game, but he came in and just went off after that.
Yeah. Okay. I got two more here for you. So this next one, if anyone's been watching this show since we started it, we are big fans of Xavier Smith. The X Factor.
Mm-hmm. X-Man.
What's more likely? Xavier Smith returns a punt for a touchdown this game, or Ethan Evans has a punt inside the 1 for the second game in a row.
Mm.
And I do think Xavier Smith at some point will have a punt return for a touchdown for the Rams.
I'm going to go with X.
Yeah.
I could see Ethan's been on a tear. I could see him doing it. But I want to see X-Man get a punt return. So I'm going to go with that one.
Okay. I see X-Man, Punt Man, neither, but I hope Smith. Okay, yep. X going to give it to you. Bucks are capable of getting a return. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
He's starting close.
Don't get me wrong. Anytime Ethan Evans wants to have a perfect punt, I will allow it. I'm not gonna complain.
We'll make the sacrifice to let him have a punt pinned inside the 1 yard line. We'll make the hard decision. Let him do that.
Okay, I got one more. You ready for one more?
Got one more?
One more. What's more likely? At the end of Sunday Night Football, the Rams are the top seed in the NFC, or the 49ers lose to the Panthers. Also note, the Eagles play the Cowboys.
I'm trying to figure out how that relates. The Eagles play. Oh, because we need
because they're currently the top side. Yeah,
the Cowboys could beat the Eagles. Actually,
yeah,
I could see that happening. I would say the first one actually.
Yeah,
because I don't feel confident about the Panthers beating the 49ers like in Levi's Stadium. I just don't have a good feeling about that one. But I think that the Eagles definitely have been just an okay team this year.
Yeah.
It's crazy the record they have. And the Cowboys, it's divisional game. They almost beat them in week 1. I'm going to say Rams are the top seed by the end of Sunday.
Ooh, that would be so cool. Going into week 13.
We haven't seen Sean McVay with the number 1 seed in his whole career with the Rams.
No, he's always had to pack his bag and head to the hotel, right?
Yeah, we're going to be rooting hard for the Cowboys this week for sure.
Yeah, and I actually think, I think both these things are actually possible, mainly because it's not that I trust the Panthers a ton, but the Panthers do seem to be that team this year that they lose games that you didn't expect them to lose, but they win games you didn't expect them to win.
Yeah, totally.
And just this is a game I do not expect the Panthers to win, but by that logic, I think the Panthers could win.
Yeah. That makes sense. Hey, I mean, you got former Rams Christian Roseboom and Bobby Brown on there.
Yep.
Kind of helping lead the way for the Panthers. You never know. They could be out for blood, try to get a win there. I think the Panthers play a lot better at home than they do this year on the road. Yeah. And it's always interesting how much that actually plays into things, like if teams are better at home or not. But I think all of the wins that the Panthers have had this year, or close to all of them, have been at home. So I wouldn't mind it if the 49ers found a way to mess it up and lost this game.
Yeah. So it'll be one of those things. I'm not gonna watch the 49ers Panthers game, but I always watch all the highlights and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be I'll have Red Zone on. I'll see what's going on over there.
It's a primetime game though. I think it's Monday Night Football.
Is it? Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna watch it on Red Zone. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I always watch Monday Night Football, so I am gonna watch this game. And
there could be a crumble on national TV. Hopefully.
You know what? All of a sudden, I just became a huge Bryce Young fan. I don't know what changed, but I'm all the Bryce is right.
The Bryce is right. We're so used to seeing the number 9 on Stafford. We see a quarterback wearing number 9, and they're like, ooh. Which, by the way, I want to ask this real quick because I'm just thinking about the number 9 in quarterbacks, and we talked about that first round pick thing. I've seen so many Rams fans and even divisional opponent fans that have been talking about how scared they are that when Stafford retires, whenever that is, the Rams are going to trade for Joe Burrow because Burrow is in could be in that situation where he wants out and the Rams have first round picks to offer. What, like, do you think that, I know that's like way down the line, but like, what do you think of that whole idea?
Um, I I think back to the Carson Palmer situation with the Bengals, where the Bengals just like would not let him leave, and he really wanted out, right? Like, and it was a pain for him to get away. Like, the Bengals do have a history of like painful contract negotiations, even recently.
Yeah.
I also think the Bengals have invested a lot of money in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I I don't know if Joe Burrow ever like demands a trade from the Bengals. Like,
I'm with you. Yeah.
if anything, I think it would be like the Bengals make a decision of moving on from Burrow because of like injury history, and like if Zach Taylor got fired, they just wanted to go full rebuild. Mike Brown is unhappy that he spent so much money just for his team to get injured. Like, I think it would be like a front office like decision sort of thing. I don't see Joe Burrow having a like Matthew Stafford conversation with the Lions of like, hey, I think it's like I'd like to go somewhere. I think it's best for the rebuild to like go somewhere. So I don't think Joe Burrow becomes a Ram. I'd be cool with it. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see that happening. I look at like if the Rams are gonna go the route of like a veteran quarterback trying to revive his career, I think Trevor Lawrence is more realistic than Joe Burrow, personally.
I think it's definitely more realistic. I wouldn't really want Trevor Lawrence with like
Yeah,
where he is right now. But as Muad'Dib says, like, oh, there we go. Stafford 7 more years before he goes to the field and
yeah,
beyond. So see, that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people are always expecting every year Stafford's going to retire and like we have to find an answer after that.
yeah,
I think if Stafford really wanted to, he could play for another 3 or 4 years. And I
yeah,
feel like I've said that the last 2 or 3 years.
yeah,
And I think it's like it's always going to be a more so a thing about motivation of like he always talks about the reason he plays is his motivation and he loves to compete and he loves the locker rooms and all of that. I think when that goes, kind of like what Aaron Donald had, where like he was full and he was done, he was complete, even though he could keep playing, like that's going to be it.
yeah.
I'm hoping this isn't our Stafford like the last Stafford year, but I could see it being that like with how well he's playing and if he goes off with the Super Bowl, I could see that happening. But I think if he wanted to, he could play another 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, no, he's definitely done what it takes to maintain his body to give himself that opportunity, and I am a bit of a sucker for every week now when the Rams post a picture of Stafford with his family before the game. I'm like, man, that's why you play, man. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like, hearing Joe Flacco talk about how much it means to him that
Yeah.
his kids will like remember him playing. I
Mm-hmm.
think Stafford goes through that same thing as like a family man, and like he wants
Yeah.
his daughters to remember him playing and playing well, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Definitely just got to enjoy Stafford while we have him. I
yeah,
think Johnny Ripple here, this is a cool thing to look at. He says the highest a team has ever picked after winning a Super Bowl is the 8th pick. Imagine
interesting.
winning it all and having a top 5 pick. That would be interesting. Like I had mentioned earlier, there's so many different doors that you could go through to use that first round pick traded away, use it on a myriad of different positions.
Yeah,
I think it's fun that we can talk about the Rams being such a good team, Super Bowl contender, complete roster, and still be like, hey, the Rams have a pick inside the top 10 right now. And that's
yeah.
not the only first round pick they have. Like, it's, I think this is such a golden era for us Rams fans to be thankful for that we're living
It
in.
it really is. We have the best quarterback in Rams history in Matthew Stafford. We have the best coach in Rams history.
Yeah.
And like, I know we don't have Aaron Donald anymore, but we have some really good, defensive players that
Yeah.
are playing at a high level. We have a fantastic defensive coordinator in Chris Shula. And like it's so funny when I think back to like a couple weeks ago. Do you remember how I got to interview OJ Togway?
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience for me because I remember like the dark ages of like the
Mm-hmm.
05 to like 09 Rams. And like if you would have told, me as a Rams fan as a teenager that like, hey, stick with it, like better things are coming. I wouldn't believe you. And even like you go through like the stinking quarterback carousel years of Sam Bradford, Austin Davis, Sean Hill, right? Like convincing yourself like Nick Foles is the answer, right? Like, or Case Keenum, right? Like just such a, the dark ages from a dark room.
Jeff Fisher, Lennon, Spags. You got it's just like sometimes. Go ahead.
It's just so I'm so thankful, right? Like it's so cool to go in every Sunday and like, the Rams can win this game. It's not like, okay, like if this happens and this happens, the Rams might have a chance to win.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And like there's times that I look around and like I try to slow down and be like, this is so cool to have a team like this good in so many ways. Like so much is fun to watch about this team, even when they're not playing. Even just the little things of like the relationship between Jared Verse and Byron Young. Yeah. And like they have like a sibling rivalry kind of like energy between each other. And then you get to see things like the relationship between Puka and Devontae and back when it was the Breakfast Club of Stafford and Cup. And like there's been so many cool memories that we've been able to like bask in as Rams fans. And we're still in that right now of just enjoying this Rams football.
We just got one last Sunday, the perfect punt from Ethan Evans. I'm gonna remember that forever. Yeah,
and that's why we love football. Like that's why we love football and sports. Is it's like the storylines like write themselves, and I think it's just fun as a Rams fan to be able to look at it now. Like we can complain about uniforms, or we can complain about Jordan Whittington doesn't get used enough, but these are like such small problems in the grand scheme of things, and like it's just so glad that we stuck with the Rams and always will stick with the Rams.
Always.
Through and through.
Yeah. And like I tell people this all the time. I am so glad I'm a Rams fan hosting a Rams centric YouTube channel. Cause like I look at like no offense to like teams like the Browns or the Jets, but like that would be so horrible of like, so the Jets still don't have a quarterback. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do to hopefully get like the amount of like videos that have been made about could this be the Jets solution at quarterback or the Browns? Like I don't know if I'd keep going if that was it.
Yeah, it'd certainly be hard, but the Rams give us so much to cheer about, so much to look forward to and watching, and it's just so fun to be able to be a fan of a team like this, especially like you said, when you look around at other teams, and even when you look at where we were like 10 years ago, like it's just crazy how far this team's come and how consistent they are now.
Yeah. Well, Rams, this has been so fun. Great episode. I think we are coming to our end of our show here. What do you got coming up this week?
Yeah, so last week I didn't have time to do this, but this week I should have time to be able to cut out the Over Rams action segment and be able to have that come out tomorrow as a standalone video. I'll be doing either a post-game live or a post-game video after the Bucs game.
Nice.
And so that'll be fun, and then game preview video on Tuesday. So that's what I have. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm really thankful. I'm in my final week of travel for my job, and then I get to go home for my studio. I'm definitely going to do a watch party for Rams Buccaneers. I'll have a before and after reaction video, which those have been a lot of fun to make this year, and people seem to like them. They're short and sweet and to the point. But and then at some point next week, I want to have a 5,000 subscriber celebration live stream. We can talk Rams, we can talk about anything. I want to celebrate as the Rams Radar community. Just very thankful for that. But I posted about it. I really want to do that from my studio, not like a hotel room like this.
Yeah.
And then I actually have some really fun videos planned. For the month of December, I'm going to start pushing out a lot more kind of creative content type of videos. And when I'm at home, I'm able to do that. So I got some stuff cooking in the kitchen for sure.
Nice. I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes on that. Always great collaborating with you and just talking with you, Peo, and with you guys in the chat. Like, it's such a blessing to be able to have you guys come in and just watch two guys talk about the Rams. And it's just such a blessing. Can't say it enough. So thank you for all your chat involvement. Thank you guys for tuning in, even on our standalone videos that we do together. Definitely keep your eyes out too for the Peo Time watch party, Rams and Buccaneers. Those are always fun. But it's been fun, guys.
I just want to address this. I am not on vacation. This is very much a work trip, and yes, but thank you, Moody.
You would wish it was a vacation.
I wish.
This part is a little bit of a vacation talking about Rams.
Absolutely, every Wednesday, snatch of a holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. But you guys, again, thank you so much for coming in, for tuning in tonight. Thank you for being a part of our lives and making our stream so much better. You guys have a great one. First down, Rams.
Let's go.